Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Jimbo with the Auto Detailing Podcast, back for another daily detail tip. Today's daily detail tip is brought to you by JimboDaily.com. How about that? Anyway, today's detail tip has to do with how do you deal with opposition from customers when it comes to pricing. So whether you are doing it over the phone, which I think, overarching, you should never give a exact quote over the phone. You should always ballpark it and then ask for pictures or ask them to bring the car to you to see it or whatever it may be, so you can actually, what I tell customers is every car is so different. I have packages, but then from there, within each package, each car can be completely different. So I strongly urge you to never give an exact concrete price over the phone. Anyway, so once you give the price, so you see the car, they send you pictures, whatever it may be, they come in for an evaluation. You see the car, you give them a price, right? $200. Let's use that as an arbitrary number, or $100, but we'll say $200, right? So $200 for the car, and they look at you and go, "Oh man, $200. Well, could you do it for $150?" And depending on where you're at in your career, in your detail business, if you're just starting out and you really are hurting for the money, trust me, been there, done that. You may go, fine, I'll do it this one time for $150 because you may need to pay rent. You may need to eat. You may need to pay the bills, right? And that's your decision. And I think it's really shitty for people to for detailers to knock other detailers for simply trying to make it work, right? And we never know another person's situation. So I've definitely been there where I've discounted services. But I will tell you, being down the road from that, where discounting services has really been detrimental to my business, right? So though you may have to be there and you may have to discount and take a dollar amount off a service because you need to land that job that day to pay for gas in your car, food on the table, your kids' preschool, your rent, whatever it may be, I want to share an alternative that will help you and help your business down the road as it's helped mine. Because again, I'm speaking from experience, and though I'm speaking from experience, I don't think this is the end-all be-all. I'm simply just sharing my experience. How about that? So what I would do, because this is what happens when you discount a service. So you take $50 off that $200 detail, right? Now that person now got a $200 detail for $150, right? So you do the service, it's great. Maybe they start bragging on you, and they're telling their friends, and they go, "Oh, how much did you pay for that?" And they tell their friends, "Oh, I paid $150, right? So their friend goes, "Oh, give me their number." Friends gives me their number. "Hey, you did a $150 detail for my friend. It looks great. I want that same deal," right? So now down the line in future customers of that one customer, because this is a heavily referral-based business, right? So the more your customers talk to their friends, family, and neighbors, the more work you're going to get. The problem when you discount services is that everyone down line of that initial customer wants that same discount, right? Or maybe it's a 20% off or a 15% off or a 10% off, whatever amount. They want that same discount. "Oh, you gave Johnny 20% off. Can you give me 20% off? I know my car's a little bit more dirty, but, that's okay. Charge me $250 and then give me 20% off." So you get stuck down line of constantly offering a discount. The alternative, and I think the very unpopular alternative, and I see a lot of detailers just, they run specials and, discount this and discount that. And you'll also see what I've done with Jimbo Daily is that though I have a discount option wheel on the JimboDaily.com website, every time I talk about it, I'll give you a freebie, right? So that's the alternative, is to add on services to that initial price that you gave out. So you quote the person at a $200 detail. They say, "Oh my gosh, that's so expensive. Can you do it for $150? No, I can't do it for $150, but what I can do is add an extra clay bar service, or this is my favorite. Let me upgrade your protection from a hand wax to a polymer sealant, or to a spray sealant, or to even if you had to do, obviously you probably wouldn't do it for $200, but maybe you would, I don't know. let me upgrade you to a entry-level ceramic coating, and maybe here's what you could even do. You know what? No, I can't. How about this for a reversal? No, I can't do it for 150, but if you actually wanted to bump up to 350, I can install an entry-level coating, which would lock in your the newness of your car for much longer. Normally that's $600 or $700, but you know what? I'll do it for $350 because you seem like a nice guy or whatever, right? So you could actually use that opportunity to try to make more money out of the deal. But the overarching point is that don't discount the service, add in services that honestly, from the detailer's perspective, don't take that much more time, right? So if you're going to do an entry-level coating, that may take a little bit more time, so you may want to increase the price, and don't be afraid to increase the price on them. They're asking you to lower the price, but that's, and customers always like to say, can you give me a better price? And that's really an unfair statement because it's a better price for them, but a worse price for you. So if you want to be a little aggressive, you could always say, well, sure, I'll give you a better price, and then increase the price. And when they kind of freak out, it's like, wait, what? I wanted a better price. And then you tell them, well, yeah, it's a better price for me, not for you. You're trying to do the opposite to me, right? I don't like going that aggressive with clients. I like to try to work with them, but to each their own. So one thing that I love to do, I had it done to me this morning, hey, how much for a good return customer price? And it's like, well, look, I don't have a good return customer price, but what I do have is an outstanding service at a quality price in a prompt manner, right? And what I can do for you is I can upgrade any one of your services or go a little bit beyond, right? And the customer agrees. Perfect. They agree on the price. Do the best you can. Yes, I'll take your upgrade on the actually upgraded to a sealant on this one from a spray wax. And all in, it's going to take me an extra, 20 minutes maybe not even that, 10 minutes sometimes. If you have your processes down, it doesn't take you any extra time, right? If you're doing basic washes, hey, how about we upgrade you to a wax for an extra $25? And then if the customer goes for it, again, that's kind of off topic, but if they say, oh, well, could you do a car wash for $25 or $30 instead of your $40? It's like, well, no, I can't. But what I can do, if you want to go to $65, is I could do a wash and a hand wax, right? And then obviously you just use a wax as a drying aid and boom, wash and wax. And it takes you probably no extra time, but you built in an extra $25. So that's the idea. And if you go back to one of Gary Vee's episodes where he had a restaurateur on, and they talked about this, the statistical likelihood of a return customer for a restaurant, and I think it would be pretty close in detailing. If you could get them to come back the second time, they're 40% more likely they're going to come back a third time. Once that customer comes back a third time for your service, let's say, they're 70% more likely to come back again. But you get them coming back not through discounts, but through freebies, because the risk on their end is a lot lower. So I love giving away. I'm a huge fan. I know not a lot of people are huge fans of it, but I am a huge fan of giving away services for free, at least initially, while you're still obscure. And then if customers are trying to negotiate price with you, actually using add-on services to make it more enticing for them to go for your higher price service, but not actually discounting your service at all. I would not discount. Again, I've done it, and obviously you could do it if you want, but just downline from the referrals that come from that, it's always a nightmare. At least it has been in my opinion. So I'd rather give away free services, because what happens then is, just to wrap this up, is that then when a customer is talking to their neighbor about their detail and they say, oh, how much did you pay? They didn't pay $150. They paid $200, right? Oh, I paid $200, but he upgraded my wax to a sealant and blah, 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 or gave me an extra freebie, shampooed my extra mat for free, or whatever. So they talk about the freebie, and then when that downline customer referral comes to you, they say, oh, my customer got the $200 detail, and then you gave in some freebie. Can you do that for me? And then then you're negotiating from a position of power, I think, because it's like, well, you know what? There's really no, room for freebies on your car. Or sure, I'll give you a freebie. How about? And then you could give them a freebie, a free wheel coating on one wheel or whatever. And that's a whole nother story. I offered to do that for a guy with a ceramic coating. I told him he should get his rims coated. He's on the fence about it, and I told him, I'll do one for you for free. And he was like, oh crap, that's good. Like, you do one for free, and then I have one really nice looking rim and the rest aren't. And I'm like, well, I could do one, you could see how it looks, and then we could do the rest of them. And he's like, forget it, let's just do all of them. And I'm like, all right, there we go. Just landed that by offering to do a free service. I actually landed the paid service. So just an alternative. I would not discount your services. I would add on freebies that are cost and time efficient for you. You don't need to go into the hole for this. You just need to make sure you're adding value to your customer and they see that. All right, guys. Catch you on the next one. See ya.